let's sound test.
I like biscuits. Do you like biscuits?
I like biscuits.
Do you count a Jaffa cake as a biscuit, or do you count it or not?
I think a Jaffa cake is a cake. I think this has been...
It's very controversial, because I think it's a cake as well, but then it's apparently in the biscuit aisle.
I think Jaffa cakes class themselves as cakes.
Well, they're not.
The guys themselves.
Because biscuits are kind of like... Biscuits are baked, aren't they?
Mm.
Whereas Jaffa cakes are quite spongy almost in texture.
So here's the thing. What defines a biscuit from a cake apparently is the fact that a biscuit, when it goes off, it goes soggy.
Yeah.
Whereas a cake goes stale, it goes hard. And a Jaffa cake
goes hard
when it goes
basically
stale.
like a cake.
Yeah, so in other words, it's a cake, not a biscuit.
That kind of makes sense. Yeah. And anyway, welcome to the Christmas podcast.
Hello there. Is that our intro?
Let's do it. Let's go for it.
Yes, it's our intro. Hello there, and welcome to a Christmas special edition of the podcast, which is going to have absolutely no structure to it whatsoever.
As you can tell by the intro.
We're just kind of going to talk for a bit and just go along with what we've enjoyed from the year, like our good experiences throughout the year, and we may even get a special phone call from Father Christmas if we're lucky, but it's not confirmed. So
he's a busy man, and you know it's a week away.
It is a week away.
A week away.
So is it?
It's next Wednesday, isn't it?
It is next Wednesday, but I don't know when this is going to go out. We've got kind of like a couple of videos ready to go, but we don't know how we're going to stretch them out. So this could be the last video you get before Christmas. There may be another one along the way, depending on when we decide to release this. So, yeah, I guess.
Somewhen.
Sorry?
Somewhen.
Somewhen, yeah.
That way we're not contractually obliged.
Yet. But no, our Abomination review will definitely be out before Christmas. Where we slot this one in, whether it comes before or after it, I'm not entirely sure yet.
Insert joke there.
Okay.
Iain, slotting in.
Let's start from the obvious place. Darryl, what have you particularly enjoyed playing this year? Have you got like any good memories of playing certain games, or?
So obviously, I guess fairly early on we were at the board game expo.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few prototypes there that we had a kind of quick go on that I enjoyed, but I wouldn't necessarily... I don't think I bought them, actually, weirdly. I bought a couple.
Yeah, you've definitely got a few games.
Yeah. Well, one of the main ones was Sumo Gnomes. The reason why I enjoyed it so much is because it was just really quick and easy to play. There wasn't this whole... sit down for half an hour, be taught how to play it, like with the Red Alert, wasn't it, we played?
Yes.
That was quite full on. Admittedly, the game was really, really cool, and I probably would have wanted to play it, but I'd need to learn it a little bit more, I guess. But with the Sumo Gnomes, it's just really, really simple, and it's really easy to pick up and play. And because it's so fun and small, I think I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to play
no,
it.
you were getting to watch.
I watched you guys play it. I think with Robbie was also watching, kind of talking you guys through it, and we were just having a little chat,
kind of showing us how to really like beat each other, which was really good fun. Like, oh, if you hit in the corner, get him, swing him. I don't know. It's a really nice mechanic where you like kind of you bank your dice, and then swap them in and out, so you can't keep using the same ones. It was really good fun.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm trying to think what else was really, really good.
Oh,
Team 3, 100%.
Team 3 was great.
I mean, we've had more games of that now anyway, because that game's hilarious. But yeah, I would say from the expo, realistically, those ones were the best ones.
Dwarven Beer Fest as well.
Yeah, true, Dwarven Beer Fest.
We all got a game
about
of that.
Yeah, that's true. Again, we've played that quite a bit since we've got it back.
I think another thing I really enjoyed as well whilst we were at the expo was obviously the seminar we went to. The
the Victorian parlour games.
No pun included.
Yeah.
One. Yes, that was fantastic.
That was really good fun.
Really, really good fun. So, in terms of other games, which I've particularly enjoyed throughout the year, not necessarily stuff that's been released this year, but things we've just had a good time with, Decrypto.
Oh, we've had so much fun with that.
I think between Decrypto and Letter Jam, I think those two games, it's word games, seem to just be the funniest games.
The thing is, they work. So recently, after playing Decrypto and before Letter Jam, I played Codenames with some friends,
Yeah.
And Codenames is a classic game. It's easy enough. But I would honestly say I prefer Decrypto and 100% Letter Jam to Codenames.
Yes.
Purely based on the fact that it's just the theme. I think that the Decrypto theme is amazing, where you've got to try and guess the number code with using words. And depending on who your teammates are, especially Sean,
Yes.
it can be very, very mind screwy.
Yeah,
which is hilarious. But
the thing is like, they're done in such a way as well that it's not necessarily the person that knows the longest words and things like that are going to be good at these games. They're both of them, both Decrypto and Letter Jam, are kind of about knowing one another.
Yeah, it's very much picking your audience in a way, which is quite good fun.
Yeah, so it's kind of like been a really interesting kind of thing, because honestly, I'm not a big fan of Scrabble. I don't feel as if
I used to love it as a kid, but yeah.
Yeah, I certainly don't feel as if I'm one of those elite
Okay.
wordsmiths that can make these crazy words.
Again, that's based on points for the words, whereas this is more for
It is.
points for either decrypting the code,
Yeah.
or with Letter Jam it was trying to make the word that the other person has spelled,
Yeah.
which was really, really cool because...
So it's kind of... it's really hard to say, because usually if you say it's a word game, which both Decrypto and Letter Jam both are word games. However, they're not word games where the knowledge comes from knowing the longest words or the most complicated words. In Decrypto, you're very much along the lines of you and how you know everyone else. That's kind of the key to that game. It's about saying words which are going to throw off the other team, but members of your team are going to focus in on straight away. However, Letter Jam is not necessarily about making big long words. It's about making words which are going to get people to guess what letter you're trying to get to them, if that makes sense.
It's really a cooperative game.
Yes.
Which is really interesting, because in most of the other games you're always trying to fight against someone. So like, even if it's team-based, your team's versus the other team. Whereas with Letter Jam it was... Although we weren't directly allowed to influence each other, as in saying, it's an E...
Yeah.
You go... Oh, I've got a 5-letter word that would be able to help out 2 people.
Yes.
Because obviously we're only playing a 3-player game. So, and then it's kind of like, well, I've got one that could, help one person. And it was very much a case of doing that in order to get the other person's word in the end game, which was really good fun.
I think what else is good about Letter Jam, because one of the problems with cooperative games, like, for example, if you were looking at something like Zombicide, which is a fully cooperative game, there's no point scoring or anything like that, you either all win or you all lose. But in Zombicide you can still have one person dictate everything that's going on around the table, whereas in Letter Jam there is a system in place where everyone has to contribute. And also, if you are relying on one person to contribute, the problem is that person is then never going to get their letters towards the end of the game. So you have to cooperate, you have to discuss between you who's going to be best to give a clue this turn, and who's going to give the best clue that's going to help the most amount of people.
And there's also a limit on us if you've gone like twice and you get like, there's like little
tokens,
yes. Yeah, like red and green tokens. Have you just got a phone call from Santa?
A
message?
I think I may have got a message, so I think we will have Santa on the line a bit later, I think. About 30 minutes time?
Yeah, I think Santa will probably be doing a flyover and get some good signal then.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
Well, in 30 minutes time...
We'll get back to that.
We will have a call from him. So,
so you get these little tokens, red and green. There is some theme around it. It was on a little flower, wasn't it?
It was on a flower, yes.
It weirdly works, I'm not sure why. Yeah, so basically, once you say you take the clue, the first clue, you take one token, and then say Stephen does the next one, and then say someone else does the next one. That's fine, but say I do 2 in a row, you guys basically have to try and catch up. So it's not like I'm forever giving clues or Stephen's forever giving clues, because it's just a way that everyone kind of gets a go in a way.
So everyone needs a token of each colour before someone who's already got one token of each colour can give another clue. So in other words, you do have to spread it around a bit. But it
works
the longest word doesn't always necessarily give people the right answer.
No.
Sometimes you need smaller words that they're just going to recognise that they have the letter of. Like, you have to give them something
Or like
where
clock
they're not
or
going to...
cluck or dock.
Yeah,
or,
I mean... Yeah, that's not such a good example. But say if you wanted someone to guess... If someone's got the letter O, and you have the letters L, O and T on the table, you can make the word loot. And there's very few letters that are going to fit in between an L and a T.
Oh, I think I can find a way.
Really?
Oh, come on. Right, so a little bit of background info. When we played, the reason why this is so high in our rankings, I would say, is because genuinely, when you laugh so hard you can barely breathe,
Yeah.
that happened multiple times, based on the fact that I, for some reason, thought it was either an O or an I, the letter that was missing from my little selection. And these two guys, they were like, come on, you've got this. But every word they gave me potentially could have had the I or the O in the same place.
And it wasn't even one of those two that was
the
the
best
letter we
part.
were
It was
trying
a
to get.
U. It was a U.
Yeah.
And rather than dock, it was duck or something like that. And
I think what happened was you had the clue CL something CK.
Yeah.
So in other words, it could have been clock, it could have been click, it could have been cluck.
So I went click or clock.
Yeah.
And then I was adamant the next one was bin or boss.
No,
And-
because your clue was B something S.
Yeah, but it was either I or it was either a O or an I, wasn't it? And I was
But
like,
it should have been either an O, an I, or a U.
yeah, and it should have been a U. Because
should have
would
been a U,
Buzz.
yeah.
It went on for so long, and they were both like, I don't think he's. And they're at the end of their letters, and I'm there going, I've got it. And then it was like, reveal the letters, and it's like, say the word. It's definitely U. What? It's not a U. What?
Yeah.
It
But-
was so good fun.
I mean,
So good fun.
the thing is it's entirely possible in that game. If you've made a word and your letter was wrong,
Yeah.
but it still makes a word at the end, I think you technically still win. So you can actually stumble
And
into
still
the
recover.
right- Yeah. So in other words, if your word had been your actual 5-letter word that you had in front of you was click, for example, CLICK, or at least you thought it was click, but it was cluck. You'd arrange your letters
Into the word cluck.
into the word, and it still said cluck when you flipped them over. I think that still counts as a win, despite that.
Spoiler
But-
alert, none of our words were PG.
No.
None of them.
No. We'll have to be careful if we ever play that, like do a let's play or something like that.
Massive post-it notes on the wall. Do
Yeah.
not use these buzzwords.
Yeah. But apart from that, other games, do you know what? If we're talking about games we've enjoyed over the course of the year, I have to talk about Crocodile.
Yes,
Because
100%.
we played that so much. We actually had an entire night just dedicated to us playing Crocodile one time where we
Yeah.
had 4 of us and we were trying the
Really
team variants.
good. Really good.
Yeah.
We
And,
sort of house ruled a few things as well. Like made like a 400-point game.
oh God, yeah.
Just because it was so quick to kind of get to 100.
Yeah.
We were like, let's do a 400-point and see what happens. And it kind of it got a bit towards the end, but like to start off with, there was a kind of a bit where it was like
Yeah, it was
interesting. Like
it was weird because the game started off close, then your team went way into the lead.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the game, although you and Sean still won, it was
It
very
wasn't very
close
far,
by the end
yeah.
of it. So despite the fact that at one point a massive gap had been made, because if you have one game where one team completely destroys the other one, then there's a massive chasm between the two teams, which is kind of interesting. I'm trying to think of what other games we've played this year that I've really, really enjoyed. I mean, Tiny Towns was great.
Tiny Towns was good.
I believe we played Flam Rouge for the first time this year. I think it was right back at the beginning of the year.
January.
But yeah, it was January.
in the morning, January. It was a morning in January. No, we did.
One
play.
January morning.
It was like the first one straight after Christmas, I think.
It may have possibly been, yeah. But that's fantastic. I've got the expansions for it now, the Peloton and Metro expansions. Have not had a chance to play
Is that
them
one with
yet.
the different roads? Like
Yeah,
the pavements
so
and cobblestones and stuff.
one of them adds cobblestones, one of them adds weather conditions and the ability to crash.
Oh, I really
Which,
wanna
when
play
I
that.
told Sean, as you can
Instantly,
imagine,
yeah, instantly.
oh, you can crash. That sounds like fun. So
I'm trying to think what I've enjoyed that maybe necessarily some other people haven't. I tell you what, actually, Men at Work.
Men at
Men
Work
at
is
Work.
great.
dexterity games for me were quite a hard, like
That and Catacombs.
Catacombs, Men at Work.
Obviously, Crocodile is as well.
What's the other one we played? I don't know why I'm looking there because it was here.
There was another one. Mega City Oceania.
Mega City Oceania. Yeah, anything where you've got to build something and kind of influence other players in a way. I really enjoyed that. Like especially with Men at Work, where you were kind of trying to balance things with other like dudes and beams.
Yeah,
and
I feel
really
like
interesting.
that was interesting because you will deliberately place a piece precariously because you know it could screw the next person. So that was quite nice to have that. So yeah, I'm trying to think what other games we. Betrayal Legacy.
Yes.
So we've had one bad game of Betrayal Legacy, but generally we've enjoyed every single game that we've played of it beyond that.
They've all been interesting and fun. We still haven't finished our campaign.
No.
So we won't be able to fully... I suppose that's going to be a next year thing probably, but...
Yeah.
It's for me, it's my first Legacy game, and to be honest with you, I've really enjoyed it. It's unfortunately having time to play it, because there's so much to play. It's not like we're just dedicating to one game, unfortunately.
Yes.
So if we were dedicated to it, it would be that, and Blackstone Fortress.
Blackstone Fortress.
That was
this
really
year.
good, actually.
Yeah.
Again, quite early on in the start.
Yep. That was probably the first Games Workshop game that I've played for a long time.
Yeah.
That I really, really enjoyed. Apart from when we were doing Battle Companies.
Yeah, Battle Companies. I miss Battle Companies.
Battle Companies was the first one that I kind of enjoyed.
They've redone that again, like it's something else now.
Yeah, but it's really been like a good, last year and a half maybe for Games Workshop in terms of reviving the smaller
stuff,
more compact games.
Oh, Warcry for me.
Yeah,
Warcry. I found Warcry really, really fun because it's like you say, it's a short, smaller game, so it's not necessarily the full-on Sigma or 40k or usual stuff. They've made a really nice, tidy little game there. But yeah, Blackstone Fortress. Again, we really want to finish that because it's one of those games where you have to dedicate days.
It's been a long time. I think our problem was every single time we sat down to play Blackstone Fortress, it was always one game. And it really feels like the kind of game where you have to really set aside an entire afternoon and maybe get through 2 or 3 different games in order to end out your session. Yeah, I would like to get back to it again. I feel like I'd need to read the rules again. I've kind of forgotten large chunks of it.
I would say I wouldn't want to start again, but you'd almost want to start again with a core amount of people.
I feel like the problem with starting again
if it goes
is
too long,
you'll always keep restarting every single time you sit down to play it, and that could be problematic.
I suppose we can just drop in and out. I'm trying to think what else we played that's really good.
Chronicles of Crime.
Chronicles of Crime, yes. Dice Throne
was that was a real popular one. Like we played that week in week out for a while, and
it's super easy to pick up.
Yeah, and it's kind of we haven't played that one for a little while now, but that one was really good. Of course, Root we played at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, Root, really enjoyed Root.
So that was a great game. In fact, it is, if you go by our top 100, our top 50 games, that we've got on our website, it is our number one game, despite not being our number one pick personally for any of us.
Secrets.
Secrets is great fun. I loved
Secrets.
Yeah, great fun.
I loved Secrets.
I mean, I've had that for a while, so obviously I've played it over the last few years, but I think we played 1 or 2 games of it this year that were incredible.
They were just really good fun.
Really, really fun. I think we've covered all the major bases of the games that we really enjoyed.
Dead Man's Cabal.
Yes,
we'll have a little bit of a throw in here. I wouldn't say it was the most fun game, but it was a fun game.
Yeah,
it's not at the top, but it's in there. It was fun to play. It was quite themed.
Yeah,
I liked it. It wasn't too much. I liked it.
It's weird because there's
look for inspiration around it.
There's definitely if I was to be asked what was my favourite game I played this year, it was probably Gugong. Yeah. However, it's not a really fun experience. It's it's work, and it's enjoyable work, and a lot of. Sorry, I'm not going to answer that. Call
it's not Santa.
I'm sorry, that is not Santa at all. It's from Sheffield.
Part of me wants to answer it live on here, and then just be like, "Hello."
But yeah, I'm trying to think. I think they're kind of like what we've mentioned is kind of like the games which have created a lot of memories and stuff like that, and that's the difference between the two. What's our favourite game and what have we had the most fun experiences with? I know some people will argue that...
actually, I've got one more to throw in there.
You have one more?
One more to throw in there. Controversial. Wings of Glory.
Okay, I haven't played that.
No. So weirdly, me and Andy have kind of... Well, he's kind of stumbled across it, and we've played quite a few games of it, actually, surprisingly. Even so, we went to a special event at Entoyment, our local gaming centre. It was I think there's a... I think the group's called the Aerodrome or something like that. They're basically a group that always meet up on a Wednesday, but we can't always meet on a Wednesday. So we went to one of their events they were holding, and it was incredible. Like, it was amazing. It was all themed. So it's a World War One. There is a World War Two version as well. World War One sort of triplane fighting, dogfighting, I extent.
Yeah.
Where it differs from stuff like X-Wing is it's really easy. Like, it's really easy. I mean, we haven't really got into...
Because I was going to say X-Wing is quite easy.
X-Wing is not, when you think of all the upgrades and all the kind of... So it's upgrades, force powers, having the ability to re-roll stuff. There's no dice. So there's no defense, there's no attack dice. It's literally just, are you in this ruler length? Yes, that's one hit. Okay, are you in this ruler length? Okay, yes, that's 2 hits. That's it. There's no dodging for it, which is really, really fun. And because the vehicles move somewhat like they did originally in the real world, so depending on the engine and depending on how late and early they are on the war, they have different moving abilities. It's just really fun. Like, even the status conditions of, like, burning and smoking and the pilot's dead, stuff like that, it doesn't make the game any less fun. It's just... It's really, really good. But, yeah, we played a sort of a really big game of it, and there's some really, really great guys. But it was fun because it's fun to play it with... So we only ever played with me and him, and the way they suggest you play it is you limit yourself to 2 planes each, just because... There's not really a point limit on the game, but they say that's kind of an easy point to go because you've got 2 planes and they're just dogfighting. Whereas with this, there was 19 people, and 19 planes on the map. So like as many as there were German, as many as there were British, and it was just kind of... It was chaos because we had never experienced bumping into each other or like nearly crashing into each other, whereas this really meant you weren't even speaking to your teammates. This was the best part. I wasn't like, say Steve was next to me and I was going, Steve, if we bank both left and then you go straight and then I go straight, we'll be like in formation. It wasn't like that. It was just a case of, oh, what have you done, you madman? And it just 10 planes overlapping each other, and it was just really good fun.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's one of those games I will at some point bring to show you because it's super easy.
Cool. That sounds good. Because I kind of feel like we've fallen off the wagon a bit in terms of following RPGs and miniatures games this year.
Yeah.
I mean, we've done little bits of them here and there, but we've not really covered, like, the writing on the website has kind of gone downhill, and I do plan on picking that up again after Christmas, I think. So I've already started on a couple of little written pieces for the website, but yeah, those will carry on into next year. I promise they will pick up. I wanted to kind of talk as well about our favourite experiences this year. I can certainly think of 1 or 2 that I'd like to talk about. I think one of them actually came from when I think it was me, Andy, Phil, and Iain played Speed Freaks in Entoyment, and we were there shouting all our little orc things like the wheels falling off and things like that. Whilst there were the guys from Entoyment who are great. They were having a Sabutio tournament behind us. Of all things, like, they're really heavy on their wargaming, and they've got their following for board games as well and stuff like that. But they were playing Sabutio.
So they have their own. They have a ridiculous. Apparently, they've got a ridiculous Sabutio league.
Yes, because
like people love it for some reason. I absolutely love it there.
They have kind of like their own custom set out. I think quite a lot of people have their own like Sabutio things where they've got like the stands and things like that. Yeah. But they kind of have their own soundtrack that goes with it. So they've got like crowd noises and things like that.
They love it. They absolutely love it.
Whilst they're there trying to play a serious game of football, well, I would say serious game of football. I don't think
As
it was
close
that
to serious,
serious. But you've got these guys kind of like sitting in the back, like crashing cars, and just, it was. I remember that. I had a really good time doing that. So yeah, I again. Like our weekly Entoyment plug of, if you're in the area, by all means go down and check out Entoyment, because they're
just good. They're just so good.
Great people.
It's an Aladdin's cave. It's always going to be an Aladdin's cave of goodies.
Yeah. What other like good experiences have we had and stuff? I would just say, although we've already mentioned it, UK Game Expo as a whole was a great experience.
Yeah.
Got nothing really bad to say about it, really.
Getting up early.
That's not really the...
No,
that's not really
that's
their
the only
fault.
upsetting.
And we're going to be doing the same thing again this year.
No, I'm just saying, guys, if you get a chance, move it to Bournemouth. do you know what I mean? Just move it to close. Even Southampton, just move it somewhere closer, please, guys. Come on. think of your loyal free fans.
But yeah, UK Game Expo as a whole was just brilliant. I think if anything, the only other downside I would say is the fact that we had to spend way too much money on things like food. There wasn't really cheap options around.
You're very much, because it's at the NEC, you're very much... NEC. You're very much limited to just ordering food there, and it's select things, and it's always slightly more expensive than... Alright, there's like a sandwich shop there.
Yeah.
It's slightly more expensive than a normal sandwich shop would be, and same for like a pasty shop. It was...
Yeah.
We ended up getting a couple of pasties and something else, and you're very limited, like almost need to bring in drinks and stuff like that to survive.
Fact, we did a section, didn't we, on our wrap-up of UK Game Expo of advice we would give to people, and I think one of the pieces of advice was take your own food.
Yeah, as best as you can. I mean, did we end up going to Tesco's to get stuff the next day? We didn't we?
We did, yes.
Yeah, so like I know before when I've gone to like the what is it called? EGX.
Yeah, that's
the Eurogamer computer gaming one.
Yeah, the Eurogamer is the video game one.
Right, so the Eurogamer Expo, before the first day kind of just sort of chanced it. The next day, because we were staying out, we basically got stuff to make our own sandwiches. So we were making huge like rolls, manwiches, if you will.
Yeah.
And it was just so much better because you were spending £10 on that, which lasts you maybe 2-3 days because you got drinks, snacks, all that kind of jazz. But then you were spending the same amount on maybe just one item, like one big sandwich and a drink at there, and you were like, oh. And the thing is, that's taking valuable money from Steve's spending fund.
Yes. Although I spent way too much money
Cash
at the
is
last
king.
one. Oh god, yeah. Anyway, any good experiences you can think of? Anything related to, like, I don't know, trips out, things like that?
All board game related, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
Didn't you go to, like, Fate of some sort, where they had lots of, like, old-fashioned board games and stuff like that?
Actually I did. It was...
Like Senate and things like that.
Yeah, do you know what? I really wish I got time to play them, actually, but it wasn't anyone walking around. So, we went to the Netley Marsh Steam Fair show, and, again, if you're local to the Dorchester area... What I would say is probably boycott the Dorset Steam Fair and maybe go to the Netley Marsh one. One, it's completely cheaper. Two, it's got pretty much the same stuff. And three, it's just nearer.
Yeah.
It's weirdly nearer. But one of the things they had there this year, which was, well, the only year I've ever been actually, to be fair, they had a kind of reenactment area, which had people that were kind of dressed as like Vikings and stuff like that, and they had like old-fashioned looms, and they were sort of, you know, whittling and stuff like that, which was really cool and doing the cooking. But then on the corner there was this guy, I cannot remember the name of the company, it was like a jester symbol. And basically the concept was it was all originally kind of like wooden board games from, you know, ye old days. And they had like a kind of a close representation of Senate, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Again, wasn't it you were saying they don't really know how it's played, but there's rough
100%.
ideas. But there was some really interesting, like, kind of sort of oriental games that look really, really cool, and a very similar thing to Crokinole, but I would say maybe an early version of it.
Okay.
So I think I took some photos. I'm not sure if I showed you them, but it
You
was
did,
essentially
yeah, you
had
did.
to flick the puck into a zone, but it was more of a, rather than that, it was like rings with scores on them. So you just played against yourself, kind of thing.
Almost a bit more like a shuffleboard kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. With like the zones and stuff. It was really, really weird, but they all were really, really cool and they had names on them, and I actually really enjoyed that. Excuse me, but unfortunately, I just didn't get to play them. So I'm going to try and see if that guy's there this time, or next time, sorry, or somewhere nearby, because I just wanted to actually have a go on some of these old-fashioned games. In terms of anything else that was fun, I don't want to be like a... I would say there's been some really fun moments just here.
Yeah,
At HQ.
We've kind of discussed that with the games we've played this year, because there were a lot of fun moments in there.
Yeah.
Did you have anything? Did you go to many of the Empire things this year, or was that more last year?
I don't even know if I went once this year, actually.
Yeah,
I didn't go
yeah.
once this year, actually. I think it was all different. There was all different reasons why I didn't go this year, but...
So your exploding incident was last year, right?
My exploding incident was last... Yeah, it was last season. The year
Oh
before,
man, okay.
where I exploded as a virus, I guess. But that was...
Patient zero.
Patient zero. I think I took quite a few people, like... there was other people nearby that got taken as well, and I assume I had something to do with that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Is how I feel. Other than the Wings of Glory event we did at the Entoyment, I try to think if we went and played any other games there.
Whether you did any tournaments or anything like that,
Yeah,
I
I don't think I've
suppose.
done any tournaments this year, actually.
Do you know what? Another thing I completely forgot to mention earlier, actually, whilst you were thinking about that, was Honey Heist as
you played
well.
that,
We just played over Skype just this RPG called Honey Heist, where we were all playing as bears, trying to steal honey from a convention centre. That was really fun. We ended up tangling with Winnie the Pooh, which was amusing. He turned out to be this mob boss.
Of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
that's kind of cool. We are planning on playing more RPGs. We've got a session of Into the Loop planned.
Oh man, we've got that. We've got a fair few.
Yeah, have you been asked about that at all?
No.
Because we'll definitely try and set something up.
the kind of
Kids on bikes.
yeah,
Kind of Stranger
Tales from the Loop and that
Things.
thing. Yeah,
Tales
yeah.
from the Loop. Sorry, yeah.
Sorry, I for some reason was thinking about the one where it was the kind of jeez man, what's that thing called? Cthulhu kind of war.
Oh yeah, we
one.
are planning on doing that as well. Never Going Home.
That's it. Never going home.
Yes,
Couldn't think it was called.
but yeah, so we've got a few things kind of lined up.
Hopefully,
In future.
hopefully after this busy Christmas period, we'll have more time to ourselves and we can actually play some more games.
Yeah,
'cause
we're definitely hoping.
it's one of those weird things where the heart's there, but the time's not. Like we're
Yeah.
trying to get as many board games in as possible, which is general games. Like this is the thing, and where it's, I think personally we're kind of all slightly different in our ways. So where you're more, Stephen's more kind of board game sort of centralised. There's a few of us that are kind of miniatures, and that's the thing. Sometimes it takes where do you fit it all in? And unfortunately,
Yeah.
because some of us aren't here, so like Andy isn't here during the week; he's only on the weekend. So it's very much like, do you spend the day playing wargaming at Entoyment, or do you do half that, then do half board games? But it's one of those really awkward things because it's trying to juggle almost. We only have really one day
Yes.
now at the moment where we can all do that, but then there's also throwing in personal stuff, and it's getting really awkward.
Yeah, I think in the last 2 months, it's not just been the three of us that do these podcasts that have been struggling to really find the time to play these games and things like that.
It's everyone.
It's been kind of like our entire core kind of group that we play games with just haven't had the availability over Christmas, and in the last 2 months, we've maybe had 3 game sessions,
Yeah.
maybe, and that's it. It's been really, really sparse, and that's why some of the content has been a little contrived, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, we knew it was going to be a busy period because obviously with work and stuff like that, and at the moment this isn't our full time.
No.
So this is the problem. I think this is where it's kind of it's definitely struggled the last month, I would say, or two.
So let's move on to Christmas now. Are you planning on doing much gaming over Christmas?
Yes, so Christmas Day I've been told to bring board games, but unfortunately I realise the majority of my board games aren't board games I would want to play with in-laws.
So I would say, what kind of games are you looking at then?
Because
Because I'll go into it in a second as to what I'm planning on doing.
Realistically, the problem is most of the games I have are games that would take a little bit too long to learn. Miniature heavy, war game heavy, or there's a element to them that's not fun for people that don't get the subtle things, like say the Rick and Morty games I have.
Sure.
If you're not watching Rick and Morty, there's only 3 of us that watched it at the house when we're going for Christmas. So realistically, then there's not going to be the fun jokes of, you're a parasite kind of thing, or like stuff like that. The games I was looking to take was Throw Burrito, but then I realised the anger, drunken aggression could be a bit too extreme, not from my behalf. So it's limited to that. So I think I'm going to bust out. I don't want to take Cards Against Humanity.
Yep. That's kind of like played out and old now.
I feel like Cards Against Humanity is done. I'm thinking I might take a trip to Entoyment and pick up a couple of card games.
Okay.
Some of the stuff you've got, actually, like Decrypto, stuff like that, because I think it's one of those games where it's easy enough to learn and easy enough to play that even the generational gap will work.
Yes.
I would probably like to play Team 3. I will see if I can get a hold of a copy, because again, it's almost like a party Jenga style thing.
I've got both copies of the game. You're more than welcome to borrow one of them.
Yeah,
if you'd like.
Now, controversial. I probably won't say the next line. No, do you know what? Due to some accidents that have happened and befallen my games, I'm going to
decline.
Okay,
fair enough.
There's a few accidents I've had that, not through any fault of my own.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. As for me,
yes,
I am 100% intending to. Obviously, I think Christmas Day is just myself, my mum, and my dad. But Boxing Day, I think it's a big family day.
Yep.
I'm 100% planning on introducing them to Crocodile.
It's going to be so smooth. It's going to be so smooth to bring in. Like
anyone can play it as well.
And it's one of those things where anyone can play it. It's just going to be so fun. And the thing is, it can just be in the corner. Yeah. You can just have people picking up and playing it when they want to. So, like, do you want to fancy a game of Crocodile? It's like pool.
Yeah,
it's like going to a bar and going, do you fancy a game of pool?
Yep.
Like, honestly, if you don't start charging 50p for this, mate, I don't think...
Well, the thing is, I've also now come into...
I'm looking forward to this.
Clask.
Have you got it yet?
I have got Clask.
Oh,
so
can we play it afterwards?
We can play this afterwards, yeah. So I have that. I'm 100% planning on playing that. And I think the word games as well, like you said, Decrypto, I think is going to go down well. Letter Jam, Trap Words, I think those are probably going to make an appearance, I think. So, yeah, I think I've got my plans in place, I think, for Christmas.
Yeah, and if that doesn't work, you can always throw out a bit of Big Trouble in Little China. I'm trying to think of a really hard game, like Big Trouble in Little China, maybe Innis.
Teotihuacan, maybe. Yeah, a bit of Teotihuacan for the auntie and uncle.
Yeah. Get them involved, they'll love it.
Yeah, bit of Root, maybe.
Do you know what? Why not? Just do Gloomhaven. Family Gloomhaven.
It's been way too long.
Crack it out.
We've not played Gloomhaven at all. Perhaps it's time to introduce Mum and Dad to Gloomhaven.
And your nephew.
Yeah, my nephew as well. Yeah.
Just, what character can I be, Steve?
Oh, what am I going to name him? Bob. Or something like that.
The tentacle machine.
Yeah, I mean, I've apart from other games, I've played Sheriff of Nottingham with the family before, and Carcassonne as well.
Yeah.
They may possibly make an appearance again. We'll have to see.
I'm tempted. There's a new one from Exploding Kittens company called. Oh man, what's it called? Carry on. I will find the name of it. It's something to do with T-Rexes.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Apart from that, I think those are actually all the games that I was playing. I may possibly bring out Men at Work, maybe, or what's the other one? I definitely wouldn't play Catacombs with them, but what's the cowboy game called? I've forgotten what it's called now.
Flick 'em Up.
Flick 'em Up, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
On a scale of 1 to T-Rex, it's a new party game from the Exploding Kittens people. Basically, it's charades, but you have like a card, and then you have an intensity scale.
Okay.
So it's for people that are bad at charades, and the way you work it is you have to find out who's on the same level as you, intensity-wise. That's it. It's nothing to do with you acting out the ideas. So it's like, say I'm trying to be a chicken or something like that, and my intensity is 1. It would just be like this, just barely with my arms. And then someone else that's barely doing anything would also be, you're also an intensity level 1. But I really like the idea. There's one dude that goes, well, he's got to be a 5. He's on my level. So I love their games. They're stupid. They're fun. They're just easy to play.
Oh,
So
man.
I'll probably be looking at that, but yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it's time to give Father Christmas a call?
Hold on, I'm just going to go on my Google app and see if he's flying over yet.
Yeah.
I think he is. Yeah, it says here, I dropped a pin on Santa a little while back.
Yep. It looks like he's ready. Shall we?
I think we should.
Do you want to do the honours, or
Oh, okay, I will do the honours.
shall I?
Ho, ho, ho. Now I have a machine gun.
Best Christmas film whilst we're talking about it. Christmas film?
100%, although I saw a thing earlier that made me laugh.
Okay. Let's see.
Probably help if I put it on speakerphone, wouldn't it? Also, I don't think Santa uses hands-free, so clearly he's
Yeah.
a dangerous sleigh flyer.
Soleil?
Sleigh flyer?
He's going to pick up. Come on, Santa. Is Santa going to go to voicemail?
Santa went out late last night.
What was Santa doing?
Santa was watching Star Wars. Oh, it might be because it's...
Well,
Alright, it looks like Santa is currently unavailable. I will try again
currently delayed.
very, very shortly via a different message machine. This verse. I'm going to phone Miss Claus.
What?
Oh my god, just...
Hello.
Hey, Santa!
Ho, ho, ho.
And how is Father Christmas today?
He's very well, Mr. Stephen.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he knows him by name.
Yeah.
That's so adorable.
Oh,
Have we
and
been...
Mr. Darryl?
Yay!
Oh! Have we been naughty or nice this year?
That's easy.
Oh, it depends on how much I'm paying you at any given time.
About free fitty.
So what's Santa's...
Free Fiddy will get some serious naughty list action.
Oh,
Ooh.
oh, wow, okay. Only tree fitty.
Only free fitty.
Cool. So
Santa really wants to visit the bitches on the naughty list.
so let's bring this on point. What's Father Christmas's favourite board game been this year?
Oh, Father Christmas. Ah, what does Father Christmas like?
Are you...
Hmm.
It feels like we're on the phone to Jabba. Like, not Father
Well,
Christmas.
have you ever seen us both in the same room?
True,
No.
we have not. And also, I feel like Santa also has a penchant for slave girls.
No comment. Father Christmas very much enjoyed dwarven beer fest.
Oh,
Have you seen their mighty beards?
yeah.
That's fair. Actually, I would say, yeah, that seems like a very Father Christmassy game, actually.
Yeah, we've already talked about Dwarven Beer Fest today as well, so we're more than familiar with it.
Oh,
Does he have a machine gun?
I hope so.
I only ever use my machine gun when the odds are against me. What would you two naughty boys like for board game Christmas?
Board game Christmas.
Ooh.
I don't know, actually.
I'd quite like the new game by Alexander Pfister called Maracaibo.
Oh, wow, that's a crazy one.
That looks very good.
I wouldn't mind getting a copy of that Evil Dead game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I feel like I'd like to see it in the flesh and how it actually plays, because obviously it was the one that wasn't the original one that failed, was it? So
Oh, okay, yeah.
I want to know.
Yeah. Is that...
Ho, ho, ho. Well, psych, bitches. You've both been naughty, and you'll have to purchase it yourselves.
Ah.
Oh.
Ho, ho. Well, I better go back to, stuffing lumps in my sack.
Okay, you take it easy now, Santa.
Bye, Santa. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for calling us all the way from the North Pole.
Merry Christmas. Everybody dies, boys.
Oh, thank you, Santa.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Well, there we go. An exclusive. Santa likes Dwarven Beer Fest.
Yeah, thematic.
Yeah. At this point, I think we're about ready to wrap this Christmas special up. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Looking into the new year,
Yeah.
I feel like a couple of things I'm looking forward to, I would say, is I wouldn't say we've recently discovered, I've seen it before, but we've never really taken interest in it, is there is going to be a local gaming exhibition
Yes.
for us called Beachhead in 2020, summer 2020. So we're looking very much to go to that. It's local, as per. It's pretty much all day till, like, wasn't it 10?
Something like that, yeah.
Something strangely
so
crazy,
the bar's
like-
open, I think. So
Yeah.
I think the actual thing closes at about 6 o'clock, I think.
But I think you're allowed to just chill and play. So it's
It's war game heavy, I would say.
predominantly wargame heavy normally, but apparently this year they've really gone big on board gaming, cosplaying, vendors, and some other things. I can't remember what they were. They said they've done this year, but I think it might even be like a little mini bring and buy or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so it's becoming, where I've seen it in the past, it's always looked like a war game, potentially Warlord Games and GW Central kind of thing. It seems like now they're really branching out to make it more of an actual all-inclusive con, which is fantastic. 'Cause it does mean that although we are planning on, I'm being attacked by Fluff all day today, man.
Hey, I got it!
Oh, whoa, the master. Yeah, where we obviously, I think it's only £5 to get in, which is crazy. £5 is crazy price to spend an all day at, like, somewhere where you can, alright, potentially spend quite a lot of money, but still.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to it because there's quite a few sort of smaller miniatures companies that are making kind of like wargaming scenery and stuff. And
Warlord Games are going to be there as well, who
Yes.
obviously have just done the new Judge Dredd miniatures game.
Oh, so I probably will do a little bit on that at some point. I haven't actually played it. I've only unboxed it. So far, so good. The rulebook alone has pretty much kind of enticed me. It's just a fantastic book, for one. It's not. There's very few rules books I've read that are like this kind of style. It has really fun elements to it, and every now and then there's like extracts from the actual Judge Dredd comics. Would you call them comics?
Yeah, they are comics.
Yeah, I guess you call them comics. From them, and it's really just fun and interesting. And the game itself doesn't seem like it's too taxing. It doesn't seem like it's too different from many other things, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But it's taken a couple of elements from games that we all like, so we're hoping to play it at some point. And the miniatures are pretty much pre-assembled, so it's pretty much good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, looking forward to that next year because it's going to be different, isn't it? Because obviously we've been to the UK Games Expo and we're going again next year, and it would just be nice to see how it's done differently, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I think one of the things I'm kind of looking forward to is I am kind of planning, even if I'm just going by myself, of looking at either Essen in Germany next October, or maybe possibly doing one of the ones in America, either doing Shucks in Vancouver, or PAX Unplugged. I think it's in Philadelphia.
that wasn't that long ago,
So,
though, wasn't it? That's quite
no.
close into November.
So all of those three tend to be at the end of the year, so it gives a nice long time to be able to put some money together to possibly try and go next year. Can't guarantee it, but I'm kind of looking forward to the idea of going. I was very close to shelling out the money to going to Essen this year, but it just got a little bit hard.
I imagine we're going to basically, if it is just Steve going on his own, it'll be a bit like Paddington.
Yeah.
Basically, he's just going to have some stickers on a suitcase, and he's just going to have like a little note round him, and we're just going to ship him off to Germany. And he's just gonna. He's just
a little
gonna.
bit of German.
Yeah, he's gonna turn
okay.
up.
I'll be fine.
He's just wearing like a geeky T-shirt, and everyone will accept him, and like we won't see him for months, and he'll come back with strudel and be like, "Yeah, look what I bought, guys! This thing's amazing! Like, it's a new crocodile thing. It's called Das Frin Bowlen."
Yeah, and apart from that, I think we're just looking forward to all the new games that we're going to be playing next year.
All the Kickstarters that might be arriving next year as well.
The Great Wall, that's the one that immediately jumps to mind. Anyway.
Yeah, I've got quite a few actually.
I think at this point, what I want to do is just say a few thank yous for the year. I want to thank our patrons, Elliot McMullen and Mike Garley. They're very generous in giving us a little bit of funding for us to be able to spend on games of the year. So thank you very much to you guys. I also want to thank Robbie Munn and the guys at Triple Ace Games.
Yeah.
Because those guys have helped at least retweet a few of our videos, which has been massively helpful to us.
And you had that email conversation with
Don Eskridge.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I want to say about that, we do very much still plan on making that video. It's been time has been against us. I think we need to reshoot some of the B-roll that we filmed for it. So we are actively working on that video, and yes, I want to give a massive thank you to him for just giving us the time in the Skype call.
It's not one we can
have
throw
to do
out.
that.
That's the thing. It's one of those ones where we want to put as much effort into it, considering it's quite a bigger project for us.
I mean, we've been thinking up ideas that we can do for it, and it's 100% something that we do still plan on doing. Just if you're unaware, Don Eskridge is the guy that made the Resistance. I will give a shout out to the fact that he's currently writing a book, I believe, on games that you can play just with your hands. So I think that's something quite interesting to look out for. So in other words, you know, like rock, paper, scissors and things like that. Apparently there's loads of games that you can play just solely with your hands. And that's what he's currently writing about.
Phone back Santa, I want that
now. But yeah, I also want to give a thank you to a couple of the people we work with, simply because I know that I make things incredibly awkward by needing certain days off at work and stuff like that. So especially Lisa and Amy, I want to say thank you to those guys.
I hate you both.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, but yeah, apart from that, I wish all those guys and all of you guys as well a very Merry Christmas. I thought of more people I want to thank. I also want to give a thank you to Andy, Ree, and Leon, who have all been on videos or audio podcasts and things like that over the course of the year and have helped us with a few board gamey things. The guys from our board game group as well. Those guys, without them, we just wouldn't be able to play the games to be able to run these nights as well. So a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of those guys, and to all of you guys that have watched as well. Anyone who's ever liked, commented, shared the links with friends or anything like that, thank you so much. That's how channels like us grow. So please continue to do that.
Spread thy word.
Yes, thank you very much. Apart from that, I think we are done for the year. Like I said, we've got 3 videos that are ready to go, if you include this one as well. They'll be spaced out over various parts, but we won't be making anything new until the new year now. So thank you guys so very much. Have a happy Christmas and a wonderful new year.
I don't have anyone to thank. he's literally thanked them all.
Covered all the bases.
I'm going to thank Pete at Entoyment, actually.
Yeah.
And some of the other guys. There's a guy called Andy and Lee, and they're just always really helpful. They're always really, really helpful, especially when you're looking for something you're not 100% sure of. They're not necessarily... they don't push. They never pushed anything on. They just literally will explain it to you and say, look, you know, that's a good game, but there's a better one called such and such. So... that, hosting really good days as well. We went to the sales Sales of Glory
Yeah.
events and stuff like that. Just having like show and tell basically, and it helps people like us look at new things that have come out and decide whether we want to do anything about it or not, or if we want to play it or not. Just literally, I think I just want to. Actually, do you know what? I'll thank all small independent game stores.
Yes.
I don't think there's necessarily, there's a bit of war sometimes between everyone, but honestly, I think you can't do anything worse than not go to those things. So just support them, because at the end of the day, that's where you meet really good friends. We've had really good memories and places and fun stuff this year there. Even if it's just stupid things like you were saying, like playing the stuff like that. Like you can do that at home, but it's just like, you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have people playing Subbuteo.
No.
So I think I just want to thank small little stores that support the gaming industry.
So please let us know your plans for Christmas in the comments below.
What games you're playing?
What games are you playing, and what are you looking forward to next year? And
I thought of one I wanted to play, but at the same time I don't, because apparently it's like huge now. Pictionary Air suddenly has become the #1 game of this year, and I like for Christmas, because it's just gone off the shelves quite literally all the time. And part of me really wants to get a copy of it, just because we covered this a little while back when we were talking about like technology and gaming, like how much more podcasts, and we were saying about like we want to try and get hold of it and see if it is any good or not with the whole app and the pen and stuff. But now it's become like a thing. Philip Schofield. Now it's become a thing. It's like everyone wants it, and it's gone crazy. And I should have bought it when it was like a tenner.
Yeah. Oh well.
Never mind.
Oh, we'll learn from that, and we'll take advantage of people next year instead.
We will. What we do
as
is
soon as we find out,
we'll find out what it is. We'll watch that program, and I will instantly block everything. Everything will be taken away, and I will be shipping it somewhere secret.
So, last thing to close out the podcast.
Yes.
What Christmas movie will you be watching absolutely over the Christmas period?
Elf every year.
Elf
every year.
For me, it'll be Jingle All the Way.
Oh man, if that's on, I'll watch it, but I don't have it.
Yeah.
Elf, if Jingle All the Way's on, and
Die Hard.
Die Hard.
Were you going to say something about that?
Oh yeah, earlier on something came up on Facebook, and basically it was Bruce Willis. I didn't have the sound on, but Bruce Willis was subtitled of him going, Die Hard is not a Christmas movie, and then they had a Christmas counter every time something Christmassy happened in Die Hard, and it was quite a lot. It was like Christmas trees in the shot, Merry Christmas, ho ho ho, I have a machine gun, I'm looking for a Christmas miracle. Try and watch the clip if you can, guys. We'll try and get it to link it up, because it is 100% a Christmas film, even if the main actor in it suggests otherwise.
Yeah.
He can't be trusted.
So, other than that, I think it's time we say goodbye, because we've put it off about 5 times already,
Farewell,
as we always
2019.
do. So, thank you very much, 2019, and thank you all of you. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
I can't repeat that. Goodbye.
Bye.